Hey everybody, Jerk here, taking a moment to stop sitting in a pool of my own homemade gravy to bring you a look at another one of these abominations added to Wowzles this update. This time, I have addressed the issues from the last video and properly made my commander as annoying as possible by removing the far more practical Azure Lane, New Jersey, dropping on Sims, and feeding him a can of spinach. So, you may recall last week when I was showcasing Louisiana that I was implying that I think these ships are cracked. But that was Louisiana. This is Connecticut. This is a tier 6. It only has 8 356s. That's 2/3 of a Florida. One cannot expect to do ridiculous things with this, surely. As you know, size isn't everything, but interestingly, since this ship is a Legends exclusive, I can't go and nerd out over its hidden stats, and my biggest question is the pin of these shells. I don't think they're the same as Florida, but I don't know. But I do know that it feels like I struggle to hit battleship citadels with them, even at close range. Cruisers, not really an issue. Oh, look at how easy it is to drop torps. But battleships, yeah, I'm definitely kind of struggling, just struggling to get the big shots. But maybe that doesn't really matter when you just can magically drop torpedoes from anywhere. Also, unlike Florida, this is not crippled with the ridiculously long reload. No, I'm not saying that this is the fastest one. It is, I think, about 27 or 28 seconds with this particular build, but, you know, it's definitely faster, and we are still quite accurate, at least accurate enough to bonk a Benson across the map, so that's pretty good. And the other thing that I was talking about in the last update, or sorry, the last video, was how I felt like you could use the HE Wombo combo with Torps to get essentially an easy kill. You get somebody to burn their damage control, and then you get a flood on them with the Torps, and basically that's going to be it for them. And I was deliberately playing this ship to try and demonstrate that. I mean, there is some point using the HE on here when everybody's bow tanking you, but even here, you know, I probably, maybe I could have used AP, but I wanted to try and do a Wombo combo just to see if I could. So that's why I have the HE loaded. Man, these shells, boy, they sure do look accurate sometimes. Anyway, yeah, there is the fire, and we've switched over to AP, and look at that. They went ahead and used the damage control, so I'm just waiting for their damage control to end here. I'm letting the auto aim on the planes do all the work for me. That's the whole secret, guys. That's how you get the most out of these, is just let auto aim do it. And as it is, here come the torps. It does only drop 3, but does that really matter when you only need 1 to cause a flood, which we get right here? And that means this New Mexico's dead. I mean, they're gonna be alive for a little bit, but they are going to flood out. They're going to have a flood for at least 45 seconds, and with all the damage they'd already taken, well, that's going to give us the opportunity to try and do some trick shots. Primarily, where is the carrier? There they are. So I'm checking. Okay, we're going to try and time this properly so we can get the double strike. Salvo out there. Can we split and see both of them at the same time? Yes! There goes Ranger, and look over. Is somebody gonna yoink? No! Alright. Double strike. 3 ships sunk, and me being annoying with Popeye doing all the incessant laughs. Laughing over himself. Once again, we're trying to see if we can get a Wombo combo on this Colorado. I couldn't tell if they took a flood there, so that's why I'm switching over to HE, because maybe they did, maybe they didn't, not really sure. Let's just let some auto aim do some stuff here and drop. And then we will fire our HE and try to get the fire on them or a flood or whatever. Like I said, this is kind of just something you can do with these ships that I think is pretty annoying. Kind of makes me think that we need to have the PC style of floods, but as it were, we don't get a fire, but we are going to get a torp, but not a flood. That's kind of a bummer, because that would have been another example of kind of why these ships are a little bit cracked. Anyway, I've switched back over to HE. I'm like, okay, maybe we can get the fire on him now. And I think we do get a fire on him here, but he's got his damage control all at the ready again. So there goes the damage control. And I'm thinking, well, let's see. If we get this guy, that's going to be our 4th ship sunk. That's basically a Kraken in this ship. You know, I mean, I guess it's possible we don't... I can't really tell what's going on the other side of the screen. Everybody could be almost dead there. It seems that's the way that this game is going right now. Nobody wants to stay alive. Even though we have a new game mode. We have that new game mode that's supposed to be shorter and faster battles. So why is everybody playing standard like arcade? Yeah, there we go. 4th ship sunk. Ooh, Indianapolis. Or Hyuga. Well, if we can, why not have both? So, yeah, we'll go ahead and drop the torps over on Hyuga and get this shot over the top at Indianapolis. And can we do another double strike? No. No, we cannot. Hyuga, you know, has hands. They make a turn and dodge. And the RNG gods say no such luck on Indianapolis right now. So, still struggling to get this Kraken, but surely we can get it right here, right? I mean, that's well, I don't know. You look at the angle, they're actually pretty steeply angled right there. So, no such luck on that drop, but I'm figuring that's not that big of a deal. I can get this Indianapolis once I get around this corner. I'm not exactly sure what's alive over here, so that's why I'm going to pump on the brakes here for a second, because I don't know if there's torps heading this way, because I was kind of, you know, last spotted just barreling through here. So we're just slowing down for a second, just long enough to watch our carrier, to watch our carriers sink to Indianapolis. So now I'm like, maybe we aren't going to be getting a crack in this match. I better get out here and yoink this Hyuga if I want to make sure. Nope. Okay. Well, this is lowering our options, so I guess we will focus on this Tennessee, and try and get them sunk. So there's a good example, right? We get good pin on these guns, but we're not hitting the Citadel. I'm not saying that I necessarily expect to from that range, but we're gonna get closer and closer to this ship. Now, obviously, Tennessee does have a lot of belt protection. It is quite chonky, so it's not terribly surprising, but it is a little bit, just makes me wonder what the actual pin on these guns are. We kind of have Tennessee caught right here, so let's just let the auto aim do this. They can either run into the island, or they can take torps, or they can just go flat broadside to me. This is kind of what makes these ships so dumb and kind of broken. It's just how fast I can aim these and drop them and not actually have to be, you know, I don't actually run any risk. It's like it's almost like being in a carrier, but easier. So I think this is a great example of be careful what you wish for, you know, because we all, well, at least myself, I readily admit, I was very fearful of hybrids coming to this game because I didn't want them to be like they were on PC, where it was like, okay, these are essentially carriers sitting at the back of the map, you know, not really doing anything, waiting a minute and a half and sitting out their planes, right? And then the planes being able to spot. But because they changed the way spotting works over here, it was like, okay, well, maybe these won't be that bad. Oh, well, as we can see, Ouija decided to change their entire implementation which is, it kind of looks a lot like the old RTS version of the of CVs from the early days of WoW's PC. But what this has ended up doing is, especially with the auto aim, is it just makes it so easy to do stuff. Like, we barely even have to look down our, oh, there we go. There's that Kraken. We barely even have to, you know, zoom out. There's nothing, granted, I'm not at any risk of anything right here, but you saw earlier in the match where it was just zoom in real quick and drop. That's all you got to do. And nobody could even tell that I was doing that. You know, the planes don't have to, well, all right, the planes do fly through AA, but they're not flying through AA on the way to strike their target. So, I don't know, maybe that's something else Ouija could do, is like make the planes appear further away. They pop in at the last second, and it's just so challenging for ships to be able to dodge if you're not just constantly, I mean, you got to look at the mini-map, but at the same time, you are trying to play a game. You're not trying to just watch the mini-map only. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't even played Nebraska that much. I'm assuming that might be the next video after this, but I don't know. It feels kind of like I'm beating a dead horse anyway. And speaking of dead horses, giddy up, go Casa. All right, let's pick up the 6th ship right here. No! Man, unlucky. 5 overpins and 1 citadel. Man, if one other shell had done that, that would have been our 6-pack. But this has just been the name of the game for this particular match. Yeah, we're getting a lot of damage, but we're not sinking everything. So, but we did kind of have to wait there because we knew Gokas would probably be dropping all those torps. And now we can focus on the last ship, which is this Normandy. Okay. This is going to be kind of the last thing that I want to talk about with these torps. Because, yeah, I know you're all tired. Like, shut up, jerk. We get it. Oh, well, wait, look, we're at 171,000. That's completely normal for a tier 6 battleship. So, my goal here, this is what I'm going to try and do now. This guy, I'm assuming, is going to go around the island. But what I want to do is I want to blind drop him just using the mini-map and our CV spotting. So I get the fire on him right there. I'm like, is this guy going to put this out? Well, one thing I got to do is get closer to be able to get the planes to drop. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm looking at where he is on that mini-map as spotted by our CV, and I want to try and drop the torps on the north side of the island for when he goes around it. I'm trying to, yeah, you can see I'm trying to figure it out right there. And it's just going to be an issue of timing here, I think. So we're going to zoom in here, get our drop lined up about where we think, and there they go. And let's see what happens. Planes are just now coming in. Now, see, these planes wouldn't even be spotted by him, so he wouldn't even know that they were there. They're going to drop 3 torps. And I think what we see happen here when I switch up to top view, you'll notice that there are only 2 torps. So I did actually hit this guy, but it was before the torps had actually armed. So it is possible, but I have not been able to do that yet. Yeah, I've been able to drop ships shooting in smoke. That's not an issue, but think about having that ability to just torp people that are spotted by a CV around a corner. Like, oh my god, that would be so incredibly frustrating. And like I said, that was one of the first few times I've tried it. We actually did connect, but yeah, we connected too early. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how I feel about this. I don't know about how I feel about the direction that this game is actually going right now. Oh, look, you know, almost 200,000. Gonna go hit our horns. Yeah. And we will get the Kraken, and let's see how we did here. Popeye, yes, with 3,450 XP. I feel really, really Gross.